Hello, 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 and welcome to our third game where we fool our opponents. So, we're gonna start by saying that we are playing against our good friend, which is rather likes rushes and all that. But since we're playing ranked and ranked indeed, he's going to try to put up a good fight and don't lose his army right away by doing rushes. So we're just going to basically exploit that right from the start, and we're going to do some cheesy builds. And as the R.U.S.E slogan indicates, don't believe what you see. So let's start by stopping this replay and analyzing what are we going to do. So we have a game plan. We're not going to do some decryption. We're already knowing what we're going to do. So we're kind of susceptible to the bomber attacks and everything, all that. But our plan is basically not to do camo. Camo is for noobs, you know, and blitz is for noobs, and decryption is noobs. Forget about what I said in the second video if you're just going to cheese right away. So how do we do a cheese? Well, basically don't put camo over your base, letting enemy know what you're exactly doing so he could see, but he doesn't believe it, or does he? So we're going to open 3 depot standard, maybe not standard on this map since it's hard to protect. We're going to make a barracks here and a decoy armor base here. Actually this build is rather seen in some videos, so I believe not in a video, but I've seen it in a replay, so I'm just I tried to do it myself because it's a rather interesting build on the way you can get to like really fast macro it up and have just ridiculously tons and tons of amounts of money while basically really giving the impression you're really heading for an attack. So first thing, I dropped this decoy armor base and I'm going to pump out fake tank offensive. I don't know why, but since I'm upgrading my rangers over here as well, because well basically we're not going to put the shitty infantry out there, we're just going to put like good decent infantry out there. I just made one Willy to scout what he's doing. Well, we can see he's already like taking this depot, and this depot, and he has some light units already on the way, which is presumably recons. We're just going to go ahead and scout what he's doing in his way. So our upgrade is finished, and guess what? We have a Pershing. Well, not really a Pershing, just a paper version of Pershing. Good to know. And we are pumping more tanks. And well, let's look at the perspective. So these are probably recons, as we can see. This is a recon. We don't know what this is exactly. And he's going like retreat. So let's just put this game in his shoes for a moment and let's see what does he own at this moment. So our enemy opened 3 depot, barracks and RT base, and RT base is not necessarily that bad of an open, although I would like primarily to see tigers on this map, because tigers are so strong when you get to the middle and establish that hard point and even control flanks with them, and you know, do some barracks over here and secure everything, all that. But our opponent is making artillery base and pumping howitzers because he's just seen barracks, and that makes sense. Okay, so he sees this like, whoa, he has five huge gold chippy American armored stuff coming in, and well, when you have RT, an RT is a pretty good start for German if you know how to play it correctly. Basically a German RT in opening involves getting like recon, presumably $20 anti-infantry, which is ridiculously fast and good. You get some flak 88, which will basically repel any early attack, and you can really secure some depots early on as well. Although our enemy's positioning is rather weird by putting artillery here and, you know, pumping flags here when he could secure this depot, as we will see, will not really hold up to much power when his only reinforcement is here, which makes sense. So he sees these rather 5 units coming in, and well, what you're going to do? He retreated his recon, and guess what?
Sir, enemy is blitzing in this sector.
He's taking in a town and doing fauna, but well, he has a light infantry against heavy infantry, and let's just look at the stats since we should really look at the stats. So his damage is 40 and Rangers damage is 80, so basically we win, especially with 2 infantry, since we really needed to secure this town as early as possible, and we did get an upgrade in time and actually did manage to defend that depot, which is good for us. We put our fake tanks in middle, as we know they're fake, but our enemy doesn't know, so he's putting in some flags. And well, since he sees the tanks, he sees like 1 pushing and 4 leads, and by that moment he's just thinking, whoa, why tanks? Why are they here? What should I do? I can't hold these tanks. So but remember, when you're playing against rather deceptive large force, you must always count the number of things enemy has. So let's like a look at my base. So I have admin already, and I have Pershing, and I have like Pershing upgrade, and like have some leads like $80, 75 plus $40, like $100. I have Rangers and Willies and armor base, and that just doesn't add up. So you must figure what is wrong with this. So, well, too much to my surprisement, he's like focusing on making flags, because he thinks that at that moment those tanks are real, like they're real. We must get additional flags, because otherwise we'll just run over him. While we're making this little deceptive push with the Rangers to completely unprotected depot over there. And well, sad thing is our RT gives away. So when the RT gives away, he must now adjust, but well, he's already spent $80 on these flags, and well, it's not really gonna do him much good when all I have is basically infantry, and he doesn't know this base is real or not, or only the tanks are fake, so it's pretty really hard to guess what that is at the moment. But let's say for like early opening stage, these flags are pretty useless. If you take a look at my forces, I have basically no tanks. I have every single counter to his units except for like 1 RT, which really I can flank and kill even with heavy infantry, because heavy infantry is pretty resistant. And let's see how much proceeds to much of this our favor, and what we do wrong. So we're basically just microing our tanks around, spreading, and trying to keep up some fake pressure, which like getting paper bombed. And our enemy does correctly by making rather armor base and just going, because all we do really have is like this infantry, and and he does make the correct play and make panzers, takes back his supply depot, which we captured, and actually like got like, I believe it's $18, so good steal. While at the same time we already made barracks here to actually support this depot, so we can capture it later, since this is protected by rather far barracks of this. But since I wanted to upgrade to be much faster, I put barracks here, so we can get Rangers. By recapping his depot, he still has light infantry because he spent all his money on flags. And that's what, if you can successfully pull this off, I'm going to guarantee you'll be so much ahead of your enemy, because when you do a thing like decoy armor blaze plus decoy tanks and your opponent goes full anti-tank mode, what is the outcome? Like, we can see the outcome right here. We have heavy infantry against light infantry. We have heavy infantry against RT base, which is like right here. Like, RT base is like right here, and he has like 2 flags which cost $40. They're good if there's no like air and like fighters and things that come to bomb him. It's really good against tanks, but we don't have any tanks, and well, at this moment we're kind of crushing him in terms of what we have versus what he has, except for panzers. Like, the panzers is the one thing we doesn't really do well against for now moment. So let's see how our enemy utilizes those 2 panzers to actually get edge over us, since he has. But well, we already deployed our armor base, pumped some Lees to actually deal with those pesky panzer tanks on this side, so he can't really get this unprotected depot. We have 1 admin and 2 admins already. It's been what, it's been 6 minutes and we have 2 admins standing. We have upgraded infantry and we're doing Pershing upgrades against our enemy, who has flags at the moment, 2 panzers and probably some upgrade of his own. And we already got his depot locked down here. We already took his depot, and now we're going to destroy this depot as well. I think we actually didn't destroy this depot, but let's look. So, I did go into the options to actually turn killing buildings on, and I believe I'm AFK right now while this recon is rather picking up kills. So we're pretty close here, as in terms of we're just basically have killing, and we're throwing satchel grenades and just managing to... Did we get it? Did we get it? We throw grenades and we get it. Good job. So, while we were heavily going into options and setting things on so we can actually take this supply depot away, we did forget about our Lees and those panzers, so yeah. We're pretty strange. Oh no, actually we didn't. Forgot. We just went full retard mode and put two anti-tank bunkers down. Not sure why exactly against 2 panzers, but well, better safe than sorry, especially when you have $100 admins here. And yeah, the thing is, $50 at this moment. Well, yeah, rather big expense, but you never want to lose admins. And basically, there is also this truck here. So actually, with those 2 panzers, he could deal such immense damage to me at this moment by destroying this truck, this supply depot, this administrative building, and maybe even this if he manages to go around these anti-tank bunkers. So, example, if I was playing USSR and I don't have this quick deployable static defense against enemy threats, I would be in not really good shape at this moment. So he indeed goes for the admins. I don't know why that was his choice at this moment, but I think he was rather focused on getting his this place set up. He did send some grenadiers out, thinking I would cap this place, but I actually did manage to destroy him. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this. And as we get to depots, these tanks should be bopped immediately, and they're doing. And well, he didn't actually did much damage. Good for us. So let's recap. What do we have at this minute mark? We are ahead, of course. We have taken and captured depot, and he captured it back, and we lost a couple of infantry to his. So all in all, a good fight. I think we lost one recon, not a really big deal. We have some lees, which will begin to assist each of the sides, 2 lees for each side. I think we have Pershings on the way. So, well, we're secured everything, and got depots. So it's basically 2 depots against 4 depots and 2 admins already. So that is what makes puts you really forward. If you like do some really strange opening by showing your base and doing some fake tank offensive, and enemy just puts out anti-tank, and you just stitch up and macro as hard as you can, and you'll get really ahead. So we did put a 3rd admin down, which is rather ridiculous. Let me drink some tea for a moment while we think about that, and we're basically pumping some more willies, some more infantry, because well, we're waiting for Pershings. I think, I'm not sure. I think I made this Pershing upgrade a long while ago, but it didn't really seem. So it's pretty passive at our moment, and our opponent is going like, oh no, I lost already the map control. So the best thing he could possibly do is probably make some really tough Siegfried blockhouses for me to break in, actually making them 2, securing the middle, so I can just go. I can't really push in and go in like that, as well as securing his flank, which is a rather good choice since we have troops in the city already. This side is rather staying cut off from the main forces. So we are basically just now macroing it up. We're just putting more infantry. Willie is getting chased. I would believe he don't really like this chase at the moment, so he's going off to the side, chill near the pretty cool looking sea over there. Where are our Pershings? You know, as an American, you always get Pershings because they're just so fucking awesome in general. I don't really like playing America, but when you played it, it's like, wow, I got these cool little tanks, and I can just... And the thing is, basically with 4 admins and 4 depots, we can sustain Pershings. We can build a lot of them, like a lot of them, with no problems at all. And we actually run into some pretty quick Panzer IVs, which are suited in middle and going into... looks like they're in mood for attacking something, and it looks they're heading for our Pershings. Are they real? Yeah, they just get... Oh, the Panzer III got one-shotted, and these are just suicidal units. They're just like, oh, we're rookie Panzers, we're just gonna like storm and attack against Pershings, and well, they don't really match up to the advanced heavy tanks. So we got 1 Pershing to this side because, well, you need the Pershing, at least 1 tank on every infantry. We're getting some serious troops in here, grouping for an attack, and I believe we do get another armor base, so we can actually... our economy is so huge at this moment, we actually have to get another macro armor base, so we can just use all our money for those good Pershings. We're getting bombed over there, but no problem, we're just gonna retreat a bit, see what it likes. So we still have this pesky little artillery, and we have pretty much 88s and infantry, and well, this is rather, even for like 7 Pershings taking Siegfried and like facing 88s, it's going to be a lot of pain. And since we're playing ranked, I don't really mean to go all like I'm gonna waste so many soldiers. No, I don't play that way. If you're like ahead, get more ahead. It's my motto in first place, and if we can avoid some losses over here, it's probably better for us to learn to play and actually not use units right out. Especially like it's not easy to break. Like let's look at his defense for a moment. So let's gonna camp neutral. Like you can see here, like if I attack with like 7 Pershings here, this can actually deal so much damage to me. I don't know. I think I may be able to break it, and basically there's nothing. But if you put this in perspective, we're pretty much not a favorite. Like here, it's pretty even in general terms. We can like. We need like to use Blitz and Fan, and I would be much inclined to attack with something like Shermans here, because Shermans can take 2 hits, and you can have more Shermans, like more units is going to push, like same with the Guardia, where you can just push, you not necessarily win, but you can push over the lines very effectively using mass force. So in order to beat any type of opponent, the main thing for playing good is to always find which is the weakest point of this whole setup. So the weakest point is definitely somewhere here, like this 388 Siegfried, some tank backups, additional armor base, not going to work out. And since we are Americans, we're just probably going to use bunkers, bombers, like going double airport, because just like economy allows us to do so, and no problem with that. Making more bombers, not going to make many more. Like you can see, like now I engaged with what, like same 7 Pershings. Yeah, 7 Pershings. We destroyed the Siegfried, but we got 2 tanks in retreating, so if we're actually going to head against this, this could probably make more Shermans retreating. So we do take the Siegfried down, and when the Siegfried is down, we can actually go ahead and basically blitz, I believe, 2 sectors, so we can get our infantry moving on, which we're sitting in a town patiently waiting. Since he's probably spamming this infantry and more on this side, and we can actually move our Shermans along the way to help assist. And we can, when we actually use the bombers to bomb down the 88. And this is how you actually, well, I would say attack correctly, but we actually get really surprise attack down there by units, which they are camping, but since we have heavy infantry, it's not so big of a problem. We do split our troops and move in as efficiently as we can, taking all sides. Don't think about like pushing one spot. Just divide your troops and make as efficient attack as you can. It's like priority. Even if you're like, oh well, I won this game already, just going to attack. If you just meet with something unexpected, like I have 2 willies here, but there's always something unexpected could be going on, so it's better probably, like, I'm not saying like you should stay in base and just RT your enemy till he like just goes to sleep, but doing an efficient attack by regrouping and actually focusing your troops and doing these micro actions, like going around and actually bombing a lane, like trying to get, not like going straight over the 88s or whatever could be here, but actually doing this and then just trying to bomb a line, trying to take down infantry as well, is one of those things that will put you ahead as a player in general. Sadly, there's no infantry running out, and we do a double bombing racks, and our bombers actually retreat correctly by going backside. That's always a good thing to micro, since we have these infantry which can't really move up against Siegfried blockhouse, and we have some troops over here. We're just going to do some push together and finish our opponent efficiently. So without really further long ado, since we captured our artillery base, we're just going to use this as a reinforcement while simultaneously moving our troops forward and retreating bombers and taking care of this one recon. It's all about like micro in general, which makes you a better player. Even if you have like macro like a god and basically afford to just, I don't know, spam like Stuarts and just go up against this Siegfried bunker. This video is all about how to do it efficiently. Even when you're ahead, you need to like, I think it's much more maybe not interesting, but when you like sit for some moment and then just move with a rather interesting overall movement, you will get this effect where people will oftentimes surrender. It's same like with the bombers. If you're just going out on a huge attack, you may get used to people just surrendering you because you just did some massive damage in one time. So making every unit an integral part of your attack is very important in R.U.S.E. Don't leave guys behind, like these guys or this guy or these guys like I do, and try to utilize most of your forces and use bases you capture and destroy any recon units that might be hiding. It's all about really putting the best in and making it work from all sides. Now you can see he has a Siegfried over here and basically some leftover units there, and we're utilizing basically everything unit to surround him from all sides. Even like we won this game like a long time ago, but we're still gonna do our best to use our force to fight efficiently. We're gonna bomb the Siegfried down first, and then we're just going to do the massive bomber run on this away, and then we're just going to blitz whole troops at a single time, and after the bomb attack has been inside and our enemy is retreating, we can do a killing blow and finish everything off. Only then, not just like running blindly with the Rangers before bombers have attacked. That's the main point I'm trying to get across here, if you want to be a better player, because these little plays will make. So let's take a look at how we did, and we did quite interestingly on orders per minute. It's 20, and of course our favorite unit is Rangers, since we opened this game with Rangers. And as you can see, the income from our little bit of fake cheese was so immensely higher. Like we only secured one depot and then just got built another 4. We just basically went 4 depots and got enemy to stick to the 2 depots, so we're doing fine on that. And if you take a look at the kills, you can see it's like 1000 against 100, so it's about that which puts you ahead. So let's take what our main loss is. So we lost like 1 bomber, which is perfectly fine because he had 88s and he only needed 2 to shoot down one. We lost a couple of infantry, and we lost like 1 depot or something, which was like what we captured already. So in reality, we lost only 8 infantrymen and 1 bomber to this whole attack, even though he had like these Siegfrieds and he had everything. Just by the way, how you use your resources is very important when you attack, even when you're ahead. So that will make you a better player. So I think that would be all for this 3rd episode, and see you next time.